Psalms chapter 84 and verse 10. For a day in thy courts is better than 1,000. So one day in the kingdom of heaven is better than 1,000 of your best days on this side, man. Let me repeat that again. One single day in the kingdom of heaven is better than 1,000 of your best days on this side, man. Okay? Where things were better for you. Moments that you can reminisce on and say, yeah, that was a good day. The kingdom of heaven blows it out the park, man. It blows it out the water. Just one day. Not to mention, the Heavenly Father, He's going to stretch out the time. He's going to expand the time so you can enjoy your immortality. You can enjoy your life. And the Lord said in Wisdom of Solomon, He created the Israelite man to be an image of His own eternity, man. We're going to be a likeness of His own eternity, man. We're going to be many most highs, man. We're going to be many most highs. Okay? God's on earth under Yahweh Shemiah Shah.
I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
And also what's going to make us gods? These laws, statutes, commandments, and us judging by the laws, statutes, commandments, but also these laws being in our inward parts, making us those perfect judges. Not to mention, we experience these different reincarnations in this wicked flesh, so we know how to judge the flesh. We know how to judge this body because we've been in this body many times. Okay? But once again, the kingdom of heaven is going to be patterned after the mind of Yahweh Shemiah Shah, man. A righteous paradigm.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven.
All right, Tyler, what you got?
All right. And yeah, first and foremost, we like to get all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Hey, double to Apostle Edison Jim Mess. And citations to your brother, push your word, this word of truth, and sincere four corners. We Jim Mississippi camp, and I'm gonna let the brothers take over. You got it.
All right. So we come with another weekly, all right, news and prophecy. You know, another step closer to the M.O.T.B. All right, we got a few videos lined up. All right, that the brother Nah, all right, sent to the group chat, and all it does, you know, is just give, you know, vindication, you know, to, you know, the prophecies of Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. Okay, because the more, you know, people talk against, you know, particular prophecies, the more these things begin to speak and become reality in the earth. Okay, you have Jake, you know, make a big fuss about Jacob's trouble. All right, and what do you have manifesting more and more Jacob's trouble? You know, the persecution, all right, of the tribes. Okay, as they, you know, Jake argue about the M.O.T.B, you know, what it ain't. All right, Jake switching the doctrine, dealing with the M.O.T.B and what it is. Well, what it truly is becoming more and more, all right, integrated into day-to-day society. You know, and right now they in the trial phases, you know, dealing with this technology, and pretty soon, okay, these things are going to be, all right, normalized, and then eventually it's going to be mandated. All right, because we know that the devil, you know, deals with gradualism. So we're going to start off with Revelation 13 to 16, and then we got these two videos, you know, that we want to get into, you know, dealing with this technology that the devil, okay, wants to bring, all right, to society, and which is prophesied for him to bring. So we know that this is going to be a thing. All right. So when you go to Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, and it says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond to receive a mark or charagma, okay, in their right hand or their foreheads. Okay, you got it.
Con. It said he calls all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. That means everybody, and everybody is gonna have to receive this charagma, in order to be a part of society, or in order to be able to move with society. It's either you take it, or either you take it and you become a part of society, and you ultimately face that death by Yahweh Shem Shah, or you don't, and we have to face the consequences on this side, and that's what we would rather do. All right.
And then when you go into it, it says their right hand, and then it mentioned their foreheads. Okay, and we know, all right, as other precepts, it goes into the right or the left hand. But on this one, we're going to deal, with the foreheads. Why did John the Revelator, specifically say foreheads? You know, why did he mention these two places? A hand or the forehead. But when you look at this double technology, okay, dealing with the RFID, all right, microchip, okay, and the neural link, well, the two places, okay, all right, that's emphasized, with the RFID C hip, okay, is what? The hand. Okay, the neural link is dealing with what? The forehead. So this technology, is speaking, letting you know that John the Revelator, he's seen the RFID chip being mandated, and he's seen the neural link, okay, which is a extension of that microchip being mandated. He's seen these devices, okay, being mandated in society, okay, and this is what he's scribing down on the Isle of Patmos, okay. So if a brother didn't have none, we're gonna segue to these videos. Uh, had the brother, you know, did the brother have anything, or we just segue to the video? Hold on.
Hey, I got equipment though.
What you got, bro?
Just Revelation 3 and 10. Y'all got that already? I mean, you have it written down. Y'all gonna do that or no? If not, I just save it.
Nah, you all good, bro. Nah,
All
you
right,
good.
go.
Bring it up. I got this. Revelation 3:10 said, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth."
And then when you say uh I was to keep you from the hour of temptation, which should come upon the world. And that's talking about the M.O.T.B. because it's gonna be pushed throughout the whole world. All right. I did like in Revelation saying free bond, uh whatever. Everybody gonna have the chance. Well, everybody gonna get tempted or or pushed to take this M.O.T.B. It's gonna come upon the whole world, man. Because Esau want everybody on his in his hand. If you see what you know what I'm talking about, uh, because he want control. That whole thing is about control. That's the whole thing. Do with Esau, control everybody. He gonna do shit and make sure he can control it. He gonna be the problem. He the damn solution. All right, but that MOTB is gonna drive the whole world. All right, but that's all I got, bros.
Come, bro. Any other brother had something? All right, come. I'm gonna segue to this first video. All right, and what we're gonna see, because what the devil is doing, he's just using the masses, as guinea pigs to experiment with his technology. Okay, the fact that this is open to the masses, letting you know that this is experimental. Just like the juice, it was experimental. Okay, this last juice, that he made mandate. All right, this was experimental. So with this technology, with Neuralink, the RFID chip, okay, these things are experimental technology because his devil, he's trying to tap into immortality for himself. Okay, he's not trying to give the average person superhuman abilities. Okay, here it is. You barely can afford groceries. All right, but this nigga just gonna give you over to supernatural, human abilities, immortality. All right, but he you can barely afford groceries, and most of the food is chemical based. Okay, so this devil, he's turned the earth into a damn science lab, man. Okay, especially here in America, man. So we're gonna let a couple of these things play, and this is an example, of people marveling after the beast. All right, so let's let this play. Let's see.
A major milestone marked in Miami. The first microchip backed by Elon Musk was implanted into a patient's brain at a local hospital. It is part of a clinical trial giving people who are paralyzed the ability to control their phones or their computers with just their mind. And I spoke to one of the Miami doctors involved, and he says so far it's a success. First time in 2.5 years.
I think my favorite thing is probably being able to turn on my TV.
Military veteran RJ is regaining a simple freedom.
RJ suffered a spinal cord injury, cervical spinal cord injury, due to a motorcycle accident, which left him quadriplegic, which just simply means that he lacks the use primarily of his arms or his legs.
And he, like a handful of other participants across the country, is taking part in a groundbreaking clinical trial that began in 2024.
I'm Nolan, aka P1.
My name's Alex.
I am Brad Smith.
My name is Mike.
Yeah, I'm RJ. I'm P5.
Each patient paralyzed by either a spinal cord injury or ALS. In each of their brains, an implanted microchip called Neuralink.
It's been an incredible amount of progress.
The Neuralink brain-computer device, founded by Elon Musk, teamed up with the Miami Project to Cure Paralysis and the University of Miami Health System. Dr. Jonathan Jagged and his team executed RJ's implant just months ago.
This device is completely invisible, to anybody else that interacts with somebody who has it implanted. The other thing that makes it very unique is how it's been miniaturized. It's a very small device.
About the size of a coin, but the impact so far, anything but small. During Neuralink's summer update on the trial, they showed this moment. Watch as a participant moves his cursor with his mind.
Whoa!
Congrats.
Oh, well done, man. Well done.
These are people that can't even move a mouse, right? So you have to understand, in its early stages, it's been really successful at allowing them to accomplish goals that they cannot otherwise accomplish. But what it can do in the future is anybody's guess.
Anybody's guess about Neuralink's potential. The uncharted territory raises concerns, but Dr. Jagged says it's expected with any new technology. And after years in the making, RJ is hopeful.
Excited to see what BCI has got going on.
Grit, courage.
Yeah, so as you can see, people are in awe, the devil's, technology, and the scriptures speak about, let's go here real quick. And he's going to present this, as just a, he pretty much trying to imitate Yahushua. You go into the miracles Yahushua was able to do when he was in the earth, make the blind to see, make the lame to walk. Okay. He's trying to imitate that on the left-hand side. All right. And we know this devil is doing it with wicked intentions. Okay. But he nothing in him is about helping humanity. All right. He's at war. All right. With humanity, man. Okay. Except for a small elite. Okay. These devils don't care about anything. Okay. But now the Lord has raised up the prophets to reveal this devil in these times. So I want to get this word real quick when you go 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And then whatever brothers got, we'll go into it. 2 Thessalonians 2:8 says, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Okay, and that's the prophets being raised up, that's consuming the lies of this devil. Even him, presenting, his technology, as the savior. Okay, well, we know, all right, that the devil is all about death. Okay, and see right now, with his technology, he wants more control over the masses. Okay, so he's, ushering this thing in as if it's a savior, to the blind, to the deaf, you know, to those that are paralyzed. You know, just like that's the intent, all right, of this devil coming out with this technology is to help humanity, man. Okay, but see, the Lord has raised up the prophets to expose this devil, okay, from every angle, okay, all the way into the time when Yahweh Shai is going to destroy this devil physically with the brightness of his coming. Verse 9, and this the point, it says, even him who's coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. So you go into these two words, all right, signs and lying wonders, all right. So you go into the word signs, which you've been getting into a lot lately, okay? In the Greek, all right, is semeion.
Strong's G 4592. Semeion.
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 All right. Now when you go down here to definition 2, it says a sign, a prodigy, a portent, which is a sign, you know, of bad things. Okay, it says an unusual occurrence transcending the common course of nature. Okay, so this devil, you know, he comes, you know, his transhuman, you know, ideology as if he can upgrade, all right, the Most High's creation, you know, beyond, okay, what the Lord intended it for. You know, and that's his whole thing going back to the garden of telling Eve, you know, that look, if you listen to me, you can transcend what the Most High wants you to be. You can go beyond that. You see, I have the knowledge and the understanding to take you beyond, okay, what the Most High made you to be. I can program you. I can upgrade you to be better. Okay, so he's coming with that same game, you know, from the garden, you know, as if his technology is going to make you transcend, okay, beyond, okay, the creation, the original format, okay, of Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, you know. Any other brother had something? You had something, bro? Y'all brother, any y'all brother had anything?
I got something, bro.
What you got, bro?
Give me second lesson 2 and 4 in NLT, bro.
Come.
Get me by ourselves, goddamn.
Let me share. Yeah, you share. All right, this is the book of Second Thessalonians, chapter 2. In the NLT, so like. It's the book of Second Thessalonians, chapter 2, and you said start at 3 or 4.
No, just 4, bro. Hold up. Let me see.
Well, okay. This Second Thessalonians 2 and 4 says he. You still there, bro?
Yeah, I'm still here.
What you want to do? Start at 4?
Yeah, just start 4, bro. Yeah, get the point.
All
I know
right.
you
This
got another
Second
video to
Thessalonians
do.
chapter 2, verse 4 said he. It said he will exalt himself and defy everything that people call the Most High and every object of worship. He will even sit in the temple of the Most High, claiming that he himself is the Most High.
And that's how Esau like you. I was watching that video, and that guy got paralyzed, and basically they trying to make him baby move stuff with his mind. Uh, and Esau really think he is the Most High, man. He want to do he want to I do Yahweh Bashim Shai. All right, it's like the when you especially when it goes to like the which the Transformers. The Lord made everything perfect. All right, everything perfect. So he'll change the people's sex. All right, like he'll splice what you call it, splice genes to make some new animal
Genes.
genes. I seen I don't know y'all remember a wolf die wolf. the wolf is a it's a wolf that supposed went in steep. He bought them back. But this dude want to be the Lord so bad. He just want to outdo the Lord, man. All right. But that's it, bro.
Con.
Hey, bro, can I get the book of John, chapter 5, verses pretty much 5 down to 9, and it just highlighting that point. How you were speaking on Salat. So what's it, bro?
It said St. John chapter 5, verse 5 through 9.
Yeah, John chapter 5, verses 5 through 9. Because going into that point you had made about how you're trying to be, saying Yahweh Shai with the miracles and everything.
Con.
You got it.
You want the KJV or the NLT, bro?
Let's do the NLT. Shed some more light on it.
Okay. Come. This is the book of St. John, chapter 5, verse 5. It says, one of the men lying there had been sick for 38 years. When Yahweh Shai saw him and knew he had been ill for a long time, he asked him, would you like to get well? I can't, sir, the sick man said, for I have no one to put me into the pool when the waters bubble up. Someone else always gets there, all right, ahead of me. Yahweh Shai told him, stand up, pick up your mat, and walk. Instantly the man was healed. He rolled up his sleeping mat and began walking, but this miracle happened on the Sabbath.
Right. So, like y'all brothers going into who's doing that now by way of their technology. Okay, their science. This is Esau Edom, because the one guy in the video was a paraplegic, and Esau got him telling or showing a display of how he's able to do things with his mind. By way of this brain chip, man. And this is like a miracle that Esau is presenting on the left hand by way of giving people mobility now, or able to do things they couldn't do because of their condition, man. So they're trying to do things like Yahweh Shai, man. They're trying to bring forth left-handed miracles to seduce people into being tempted to take this Karagba when it comes about, man. And this is gonna be, and we see how it's the stages of it, and they're presented because okay, now you can move again. Now you can do things in your computer by thinking about it. You can open up your car doors, your homes with it. You can pay for things with your hands. They making it look so tempting and presented as such a convenience. It's gonna start really playing on the minds of the people, man. Because this is predictive programming that we're seeing as they're getting ready to bring forth this Karagma, man. Hey, bro, if you could, can you give me Psalms 140, verses 1 down to verse 4, and you can get that in the NLT as well, bro. Because this man, he 140 verses 1 down to verse 4. Because one thing about this man, he's a deceiver, man. He's saying one thing, he'll polish it up and present it as if it's something good, but he always has an agenda behind it. He always has a second motive behind whatever he does, man. Because he doesn't do anything out the goodness or the kindness of his heart. He do it in the deceptive fashion, man. But people don't recognize it. And by the time they do, it's too late. That's why the Lord has the prophets out to give warning on this devil's behaviors, man, his characteristics, the thing that he does, how he moves, never trust thine enemy. Okay? You got it, bro.
Come, this is the book of Psalm, chapter 140, and verse 1. In the NLT, it says, O Lord, Yahweh, rescue me from evil people. Protect me from those who are violent, those who plot evil in their hearts and stir up trouble all day long. Their tongues sting like a snake. The venom of a viper drips from their lips. O Lord, Yahweh Bashem Shah, keep me out of the hands of the wicked. Protect me from those who are violent, for they are plotting against me.
Right, man. And that's why we continually pray to Yahweh Bashem Al Shah to allow us to be in his good grace and mercy, man. Because this devil, the self-proclaimed white man, the Edomites that the Bible speak of, they are seeking to bring forth their NWO, man. And they not speaking or telling you the side effects of getting this Caragua, man. The boils is gonna cause, the cancer is gonna present, you know, lead, whatever gonna be in your bloodstream, man. It's going to destroy you internally, regardless, man. And a lot of people are gonna die because of this Caragua, man. Whether they take it or don't take it, you know, because Esau gonna put a lot of people to death for not taking it. And if you do take it, the Lord is gonna destroy you, man. That's why the importance of this truth and being rooted and having faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, trusting and believing the Lord is gonna be our only outlet, man. Because the Lord has set this devil up to cover every angle with his wickedness, man. In the hour of temptation, hey, it's gonna be truly an hour of temptation, man. Because people are not gonna have nothing, man. The squeeze is gonna be there. They're not gonna have food, shelter. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a situation of having no necessities, things you need in life, man. And the only way you're going to be able to function is if you take that Karagma, man. But we're gonna have faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Aparatazah with those men. And the Lord has given us the comforter, man. The Lord has given us the blueprint. He's telling us what this devil is gonna do, man. So you got these other camps talking about, you know, the M.O.T.B is everything but, you know, or they double dutch in 1 minute, it ain't, now it might be. You know, those men are gonna have a lot of blood on their hands, man. Cause it simply states Revelation the 13th chapter, man, that you're not gonna be able to buy or sell without this particular grain of right side device, man, this mark. So, and we see how they're moving forward to it, man. Elder Priest Abaya had brought it up regarding Whole Foods, man. And I went there, look, man, everything is damn near self-checkout, man. And every one of those self-checkout stations has that hand scanner, man, for those who have already or choosing to get that Karagma, man. So the play is on, man, and he's running it. But how far he gonna get up the field with it is the question, man. We know the Lord had made a boundary he won't pass, but this devil is moving, man. And the Lord has sent forth the prophets to give warning of the mischief and the wicked, evil plots of this devil, man. You got it, bro. That's all I had.
Come on, bro. Yeah, some.
Come on. They actually set it up for me too. They go Ephesians 6. We're gonna start at 11.
Ephesians 6 and 11.
Come. I want to get 2 of them words.
All right, this is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6. All right, and 11, you won't get in KJV?
You get KJV.
All right, this is the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 11. It said, put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Come. It says, put on the whole armor of the Most High. Do we get that word armor in the blue letter? We'll scroll down to the lexicon. Yeah, we're going to get wiles right out to them.
All right, so this is that word armor in the Greek.
Strong's G 3833, panoplia. Panoplia.
It says where the spiritual needs help for overcoming the temptations of the devil that are so called. So our armor is
you got to say it again loud.
Now we're gonna look at this part here, going into the Greek lexicon. It says where the spiritual needs help for overcoming the temptations of the devil are so called. And it was another one where it says scroll back up. Right above that, it says which the Most High supplies. So the armor that we need to go against this devil, we talk about the wiles of the devil. That whole armor, the Most High Yahweh the Most High Yahweh, and our beloved big brother Yahweh Shai, who is our Savior. They're going to supply us with the armor that we need. That's why it says our weapons are not carnal; our weapons are spiritual. So our armor, it says, the shield, the sword, the lance, the helmet, the greaves, and then the breastplate. But we're talking about the spiritual supplies, the spiritual weapons that we're going to need to fight against the devil, against the wicked Esau Edom in this time. So we're going to need that spiritual armor to fight against the wiles of the devil. Now, can we get wiles, bro?
Okay. All right, so this is the word wiles in the Greek. Okay, which is
Strong's G 3180, Methodia. Methodia.
Okay.
We got two of them. One where it says outline of biblical usage: cunning arts, deceit, craft, or trickery. And then scroll down a little, bro. Under the Greek lexicon, under the Greek lexicon definition 2, it says to follow crafty frame devices or the device. So the witchcraft, I'm not Salaki, the wiles of the devil right now, the wiles of Esau Edom, it is witchcraft, but it is that cunning arts, the deceit, that trickery, the witchcraft. Like he's feeding on the vulnerabilities of these people who have already basically signed the F note. So that's when we got to understand, like we got to have our weapons. Again, our weapons are not carnal. Our weapons are spiritual. When you're being attacked spiritually, you're gonna need some spiritual protection, and the only way we can get that spiritual protection is from Yahweh Shema Shai to protect us against these devices, to protect us against this cunning art, because it's cunning what this man is doing. He's telling you, he's making it to be like, he really making himself to be like Yahweh Shai, like he's doing all these good things. But really, if you really dig into it, this devil is really trying to hack the brain, for overall control. So it's deceit, it's trickery, everything. So to sum it all up, we have to have those spiritual weapons in order to fight against the wiles or the trickery of this devil, man.
Yeah, it's we're going to another level, okay, of warfare, and like I say, if you're not rooted in your Yahweh Shai, and you don't have the covering, of Yahweh Shema Shai going into this time, that's why scriptures say, even if it's possible to deceive the very elect, showing you that the devil is going to come with, major levels of psyops and trickery and deception, as if everything he's doing is for your favor. All right. And just like the brother said, there was a quote from the devil Yuval Harari that said, look, we can hack humans now. Okay. And they're talking about this technology. He says one thing, we can see, what you're watching, what you're tuning into, but we want to know what you're thinking, okay, while you're watching it. Okay. So you have these devils, okay, their mindset, okay, is like Elder Tazon went into early, is to be the most high. Okay, they want to know your thoughts without you verbalizing. Okay. So this devil, he's tapped into trying to be okay, like the Most High. All right.
If I may add, bro, what was that movie? I did a video going into it with Will Smith. They were going into being the cameras and everything being monitored.
The enemy of the state.
Enemy of the state. He made a comment on there. He's like, they can't afford the privacy to give people privacy. And he made a comment. He said the only privacy that you have is in your head. And then to me it was like for now, because that's what Esau is trying to do, just to back up what you're saying. Like Esau wants to get in your brain. He wants to know what's going on in your head, what you're thinking, and then ultimately with that haragma, he can manipulate you. You know, he can control your movements, control what you're thinking, have your brain producing certain chemicals to make you feel a certain way. Esau is ultimately trying to hack you, and he wants that overall dominion, just like the elder Atazma was going into.
I want to play this video real quick, 45-second video. All right, then we'll segue to this other video where brother didn't have none. But I want to play this real quick.
Looking to scale customer service without scaling headcount? Meet Ada. The only customer.
The really big thing is hacking human beings. To hack human beings, you need a lot of biological knowledge, a lot of computing power, and especially a lot of data. If you have enough data about me and enough computing power and biological knowledge, you can hack my body, my brain, my life. You can reach a point when you know me better than I know myself. And once you reach that point, and we are very close to that point, then democracy, the free market as we have, and actually all political systems, also authoritarian regimes, we have no idea what happens once you pass that point.
All right, and he talked about he was talking about different governments, like democracy and particular things, and this is this devil showing you that he's pushing towards a technocracy. Okay, he's beyond Democrat, Republican. No, this technology, okay, will be governed by a technocracy. These different tech giants. Okay, these different experts and engineers and scientists and philanthropists. Okay, so I want to segue here, if my brother didn't have none, to this other video, and it goes into the dangers of this technology. All right, he's going into a guy, who was once working, with Neuralink, but he quit. He worked there for about a year, and remember, this job that he had, no telling what he was making, because there was only 8 people, that was in this job, for Neuralink, and there was thousands of people that got interviewed, but only 8, different scientists and doctors, got hired, for this particular project of the Neuralink, and one of the doctors, he quit, because of, the dangers, of this project dealing with this Neuralink technology. So we're gonna watch about 8 minutes of it. Just let it run straight through, and he's gonna go into the dangers, of the Neuralink. Because this devil, nothing that this devil does doesn't come with a consequence, without consequences, man. Okay, everything that this devil does, it always has some type of negative side effect or drawback on the end. But he only pumps up the benefits, the potential benefits. Okay, so let's play this, and we'll get more precepts, before we close out.
Elon Musk's Neuralink brain implant is pushing the boundaries of what modern neuroscience can achieve. I think that's something we can all agree on. But the company might also be pushing the boundaries of what is considered to be safe or even possible when it comes to brain-computer interface technology. Neuralink is in a vulnerable position right now as they begin to face the realities of human experimentation. And in the midst of all this, a new competitor is rising up. A ghost from Elon Musk's past has returned to take the throne with a better, safer brain implant. This could be a problem. Let's begin with a story. This is Benjamin Rappaport. You probably don't recognize him, but he was one of the 9 founding fathers of Neuralink back in the year 2017. Elon Musk says that he interviewed over 1,000 people before deciding on the team of 8 doctors, scientists, and engineers that would join him in the creation of a new brain implant technology. And looking at Ben's resume, it's easy to see why he made the cut. A master's degree in physics and mathematics from Harvard, a Master of Science from Oxford, a PhD in engineering from MIT, and a medical degree from Harvard Medical School. He was working as a resident neurosurgeon in the years before Neuralink came to be. So that is all very important to establish that this is not just another tech bro. This is a person who brings massive credibility to the table. So when we tell you that Benjamin left Neuralink in March 2018, just 1 year after the company was announced to the public, we know that this decision carries some weight. And the primary reason for Ben's departure is also the key to today's story: safety. Without getting too deep into the weeds on how brain-computer interfaces work, we know that the brain is teeming with electrical activity. Everything that you do, everything you feel, everything that you know, it all begins with trillions of electrical signals bouncing around through billions of neurons inside the gray matter of the human brain. This has been known for 100 years. Hans Berger started his experiments with electroencephalography in 1924, but even after a century of observation, the human brain is still mysterious. We know that the best clues to solve our mystery are found closest to the source, inside the human skull. We can observe brain activity from the outside by placing electrodes on the scalp, but the signals are muffled. Imagine you're living in an apartment and your next door neighbor is having a party. You can try to listen in through the wall, and that will provide some information about what's going on. You might know what kind of music they're listening to, the approximate size of the group, if they're laughing or arguing. Imagine that the people attending the party are neurons in a human brain. By observing them through a wall or a skull, you can measure the overall vibe of the party, but you will never know the details of what went on inside. But if you were able to walk through the door and enter the room, suddenly there would be infinitely more detail to learn about the party. You would hear the music clearly, you would see the people, you would know what they are saying. And once inside, you could go one step further and walk right up to a neuron and start a conversation. From here, there's no telling how much you can learn. This is all a metaphor for the invasiveness of BCI. But instead of opening a door, we have to cut through skin and bone, and in order to initiate that personal conversation with a neuron, we need to penetrate the brain matter. This all comes at a cost. We know that Elon Musk is a minimalist when it comes to design, but he's a maximalist when it comes to performance. The fastest cars, the most powerful rockets, and his approach to Neuralink is no different. Elon would never be satisfied with just eavesdropping on the party. He's going straight to interrogating the neurons as close up as possible.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it.
The cost of an invasive BCI implant is always going to be damage to the brain. There is no way to skirt around the fact that when you penetrate the brain tissue, you cause physical damage. The first invasive brain implant dates back to the early 2000s, the Utah Array, created by BlackRock Neuroscience. It's like a very small bed of nails that would penetrate the outer cortex of the brain with tiny rigid pins. The depth of the implant would typically be around 1.5 millimeters, and these implants are known to cause scar tissue and physical rejection from the brain material, so they can't be used as long-term permanent solutions. Once the scar tissue forms, the ability to have a conversation with the neuron is greatly reduced. This is the primary challenge that Neuralink was hoping to overcome with their own BCI design, one that used ultra-thin and ultra-flexible threads to interface with the brain tissue. The idea being that these microscopic threads would carry the electrode connections into the brain so gently that the body wouldn't even notice, and hence wouldn't try to reject the implant or form any scar tissue. And this theory could prove to be true, but so far it's proven to be ineffective at maintaining a stable connection to the brain. Neuralink patient 0, Noland Arbaugh, experienced the successful implantation of 64 Neuralink threads. These threads carried a total of 1,024 individual electrodes directly into his cerebral cortex, and this happened for the first time in late January 2024. By February, 85% of those threads had retracted from the brain. They fell out. And this is a problem that Neuralink may have been expecting. Several anonymous sources who claim to work at the company told Reuters that the thread retraction had been an issue with monkey and pig test subjects for years. This is unconfirmed reporting, but it wouldn't be surprising given the severity of the retraction issue with Nolan's implant. It would be weird for this to have happened for the first time so many years into on the possibility of thread retraction. He was completely taken by surprise when the problem occurred. Neuralink claims to have a solution, though, and this has been approved by the FDA, but it's not exactly an ideal fix, and this relates directly to Benjamin Rappaport's concerns with patient safety in this field.
Hell nah. Why do it?
Man, these people fucking sick, man.
Yeah, nigga, it'd be tripping, you know.
Who's to say, bro, that, you know, they get more advanced and shit? I mean, Esau gonna tap into that shit, and you ain't gonna know what the hell you doing. He gonna be controlling you like you on Call of Duty or something, man. You know, he's not just doing this just so you can actually have a better life. Your ass is gonna be a fucking asset to whatever they want to do. They'll tap in your ass, gonna be like MK Ultra, man, and have your ass go do whatever they want you to do. This shit is crazy, man.
Level.
This nigga gotta go.
I got a quick precept for you, bro. This the book of Sirach, chapter 14, verse 7, and it says, and if he do it good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness.
Right. So anything he do, man, it's like I say, it's not out the kind of his heart. It's not like he really trying to do something to better society. Like the internet. He did that thinking it was gonna be better for him. You know what I'm saying? But it was better for society. He unwillingly did that, man. The Spirit of the Lord made him do that. But nothing this devil is doing is because he got the best interest of people, man. Anything that comes out of anything he does good, if he do anything and something good come out of it, he didn't intend for it to be like that. It derailed. It didn't go exactly how he planned. So this right here with the Neuralink, giving people mobility and able to, do whatever. It's more to it, man. It's all about control. At the end of the day, everything this devil does is gonna spearhead towards his NWO and his control, man, to have his rulership to be, manifested into a digital type rulership.
Come on, bro. Yeah, so you see the devil, he's not going to tell you about the different side effects, and they just experimenting on people. This man just here it is, for 2 weeks, you get to play, all right, the Atari, ping pong shit, but he doesn't show you, 2 months later, okay, when, all right, you can't even remember your name, okay, you can't even remember how to walk, okay. He doesn't tell you that part of the experiment. It's all experiment. He always push it to the public. His so-called, what do you call it? It was a success. The experiment was a success. The first human has the Neuralink, and he was able to move the mouse, with his mind. Okay, but then he never tells you, all right, about the backdrop. Just with E, what he say? You shall not surely die. Okay, he always comes and presents all the perks, as if consequences don't exist, man. This devil been doing this since the garden, man.
If I may add, bro, Bible shop. There was another video going into the dark truth of it. All of those Neuralinks have to be controlled from a hub.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't just have it and they're being controlled from somewhere. And they was talking about the amount of security and oversight that it's gonna take, because this could easily fall into the wrong hands.
It's already in the wrong hands. Shit. Shit. It's already. Oh, yeah. This nigga, yeah.
You right, bro.
You
You're
got
going into how you know he says it's already in the wrong hand. They were going into how it's very easy for them, for someone to get control. You know, hypothetically, someone to get, because we know this devil gonna be the one to do it. He don't follow his own laws. You know, so it's easy for someone to get control and start manipulating the brain. You know, having your brain to where you get up at a certain time, you go to work at a certain time. Like you have no control. You ever seen? Like I'm pretty sure we all seen the movie Get Out. You know, it's gonna be kind of just like that. You know, it's gonna be it's gonna be you on the outside. Esau gonna be in there pulling all the strings. You just like a prison. You stuck in your own mind to where it can get to a point to where you can't even control your own motor function. They could be in there like your brother Lamar said. They could be controlling your ass just like you on the game and they got a fucking PS5 controller. You know.
for sure, bro. Any brother had
Hey, so,
precept?
hey, bro,
The
I don't
last
know
precept.
y'all remember this movie? Yeah, y'all remember the movie? This movie. I don't know y'all see it. What you call it? Yeah, y'all remember this movie?
What's the name of it, bro?
I think like Simulate. You ever seen the movie Simulate?
Put, yeah, put it back up there. What's it called?
Like this movie right here.
Called Simulate.
Yeah,
Simulate.
and basically,
It's emulate, ain't
Simulate.
it?
what it's called?
I thought emulate.
No, it's
It,
Simulate. So it is.
oh,
Simulate.
okay, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, this movie shows like I think this dude he get paralyzed and they use something to make him back walk again. This movie right here, I think it's on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix. It might be on or not, but this movie shows you that they're using this. They're using it. It said AI. It's saying AI, or we're just saying AI.
Easy.
It's a humanoid AI attempt to basically. It shows you what they're gonna use to make him guy baby walk or think with the mind and everything. But this movie pretty good though. They call it Simulate. That's what I think. I think that's the name of it. They call it Simulate. Yeah, Simulate.
Is it something like that movie Bloodshot, bro? Chill out.
Is it like what? Like
You ever
what?
seen that movie Bloodshot with Vin Diesel? It's called
No, no.
Bloodshot with Vin Diesel. Basically, he died, and they use nanobots. They use AI to like bring him back to life, but they was able to
Oh,
keep putting him to sleep and fabricating his memory and using him to go out and commit murders and go out and kill certain people. And then he eventually found out that they was controlling him.
I
So
don't. But I
I didn't
think
know if it was something like that.
it pops something like that. But I think they're trying to basically control him from it, trying to keep his memories or something like that. But it's a pretty good movie though. But it's like basically going in like they're using AI. I mean, they got a lot of movies out talking about how they want to use AI or whatever to try to deal with people's mind, control people's mind though. It's called Simulate though. But that's all I had, bro.
Halak, you had a precept?
I had two. Can you give me first Psalm chapter 55 verse 21?
What you got, bro?
Psalm chapter
Say
55
Psalms.
verse 21.
Okay, cool. Pull the Bible back up. Yep. And what this devil doing is like a Trojan horse, because a Trojan horse was presented as a gift. All right, but inside that Trojan horse, okay, it was it was a war tactic. It was a war strategy. So this devil, he's using these miracles and these so-called patients and so-called success stories, okay, as a Trojan horse. Because now that's another thing. The devil, Noah Yuval Harari said that now technology is going under the skin. He said the pandemic was a good thing because it put them in a position to put technology under the skin. Okay. You said Psalms 50 or 55, bro.
55 and 21.
55. I got you, bro. All right, this is the book of Psalms 55, verse 21. It said, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His word was softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords.
Kind. You see, this man, he's coming with the falsehood of healing and of making things better. But what this man wants is, again, is control. Control and the power to turn you off or on at his will. You know, it's as you said, bro. It's a Trojan horse. It's a gift. It's a gift, but it's full of poison. It's
Come,
that pox blanket. What was it called? Man, they did to Gad.
yeah, small, the smallpox.
Kind, kind. This man is always this man gift. His hand is poison. But that goes to this man ego. He wants to be as the Most High, and for that, could you give me Isaiah Isaiah chapter 14 verse 13 down to 16. 13 down to 16.
This Isaiah chapter 14, verse 13. For it says, "For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
This man got his
I will ascend above the heights of the cloud." You got it, bro.
this man has his technology up there, and he's actually trying to get up there. This man wants to be above you, literally and figuratively. This man's social structure, but also where this man lives. You want to say something, bro?
Come, bro. No, I'll just waiting on you. This Isaiah 14 and 14 says, "I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell to the sides of the pit. They that see thee narrowly, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this all right? The man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms."
Kind. You see, this man, his plans are going to fail. His plans are going to fail. All his technology, all that is going to come crashing down on his head when Yahweh Shah returns. Then he will be brought down low. People will look, during in his captivity, and as time passes, people are gonna be like, "Is this the man? This can't be him." Once he's back into his, rightful place.
Come, bro. Because the Lord just allowed this man access. He opened him up on the left hand side, and the devil, took that, to say that in his mind he thinks that he's some type of chosen special, entity that got this thing figured out because of what the Most High is allowing him to do. So he's taking, the power given him from the Most High, okay, to try to go against the Most High, you know, which is completely idiotic, but it's he's possessed, his heart is hard and his mind is hard to try to pull this off, man, you know. We know it's going to end in complete failure, all right, and he's going to be looked at as a damn fool in the earth, okay, for 1,000 years while he's, the hands and feet, okay, in the captivity in the kingdom, you know. When any brother had anything else, get the last couple and we wrap it up.
I had something, bro. Can you pull
What
up
you
a
got, bro?
Google? Can you pull up a Google definition, bro?
What you got?
Pull up. What is a cunning? What is a cunning person? So the scripture refers to him as a cunning hunter.
So yeah, we have to understand, we're watching, the serpent. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We're watching the serpent, try to pull off, you know, there's a plant that he did in the garden, you know. So it's the same format, right? And it's all about him, you know, deceiving the masses, and so into believing, you know, that he has a way, you know, that's above anything that the Most High can offer, you know. And right now the masses are duped, you know, into believing it. All right. So when you go into it, says, what is a cunning person? It says a cunning person is someone who is clever, skillful, and often subtly deceptive in achieving their goals. They are adept at using their intelligence and resourcefulness, sometimes employing trickery or manipulation to get what they want. While cunning can imply positive traits like shrewdness and ingenuity, it often carries a negative connotation due to its association with deceit and trickery.
Yeah, so that's what this man he's about. He's about the deception and that trickery, trying to give you a false hope, you know, a way to think that hey, he is the Most High. So when it all comes down to it, he trying to gain the masses. So when he pushed they you know, when he pushed putting the prophets in the negative light, hey, the masses just they're gonna flock to it and be ready to give up, brothers, you know. But Elon, they said something about when they was going into the skull, he wanted to go into basically directly into just interrogating the neurons in the brain cells. So I looked that word up. I linked that interrogation to
You still there, bro?
Can you hear
You
me?
still there, bro? Y'all, you can hear him? Yeah,
I can
yeah, I
hear
can hear you
you.
now.
Okay. Yeah, type in the word interrogate, bro, in Google.
All right, so you go into this word interrogate. So the word interrogate, it says ask questions of someone, especially a suspect or a prisoner, closely, aggressively, or formally.
Now get it under the word computing, the second definition.
It says obtain data from a computer file, database, storage device, or terminal.
To the next one. Come on.
The second one, it
Come on.
says of an electronic device transmit a signal to another device, especially one of a vehicle, to obtain a response, giving information about identity, condition, etc.
And that vehicle is going to be the masses of the people, man. You know, this guy he's trying to make cyborgs. You know, he's trying to link again, like brother saying, he's trying to link man with machine. You know, which goes against the scriptures. So I typed that into the interrogate. I linked it with the Revelation 3, 13 to 16 in the chat GPT, and it says it could be linked to a spiritual test or interrogation where individuals are forced to choose between allegiance to the Most High or the beast system. So that's what this man that's what basically you got chat GPT exposing this man, you know. Um it says you know the scripture say, hey, choose you this day whom you will serve. But the precept I want to grab is Revelation 19 and 20 Baba Kashai.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 19 and verse 20. It says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast and them that had worshipped his image. These both was cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone.
Yep, those who receive the mark of the beast and worship his image. were both cast into the lake, burning with the fire and brimstone, which is going to be America set on fire by those nukes that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to have shot off in the ends of the world. You know, you can get 21 Bob Kasha.
21 come. Verse 21 says, and the remnant was slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh.
You can go back and linking this to the 2nd 13th chapter, and that he that set up on the horse was Yahweh Shai, because he's coming to throw this place down and basically fight against those who try to fight against him. You know, but it all ends with this beast system being thrown down.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that show you that the nukes don't get you, them chairs will.
Okay.
I mean, bro, it just shows you how you got, you know, certain celebrities telling you need to get a dual citizenship, like the brother just said. If the nukes don't get you, them chairs gonna come get you. Regardless, you gonna get your reward.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nowhere to run to.
But yeah, that's all we had on that end. Y'all brother had anything else? Well, with that, we pray, you know, that you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified. Once again, we want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
and double honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples for us younger brothers, and peace and blessing, salutations to the hopeful Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.